This is a tutorial video to help you with Task 4 in Module 5. Some of you have been asking me for this video, so I thought I would make it. What you're kind of seeing here is the final result. This is what you should look like. This would be correctly accomplishing Task 4. Is this graph here, which goes Monday through Sunday, and shows you how many dollars you spend broken out by bakers and till workers. So that's what we want to accomplish. All right, and to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to generate this graph right here. You see in the blue this set of data, and the chart itself is really easy to make if you generate the data correctly, and really hard to make if the data is not correct. So that's what we're going to work on today, and it's a little bit of formulas, and then we generate the graph. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to delete some things, and we're going to start from scratch. Alright, so here you go. I'm going to delete this graph. And if you look here at this very, very complex formula, this is actually what we want to do. And I'm going to show you how to write these formulas. And then once you get these formulas done, we will be able to generate the graph. Okay. So what we need to do basically is figure out how much money till workers make on Monday. All right, so we've got a couple of till workers here, and I'm going to highlight them so they're a little bit easier for you to see which ones are our till workers. All right, and then we're specifically looking at Monday. So here we go, and it's these orange cells. All right, we've got 4 hours from Claire, 8 hours from Ellen, no hours from Kenta and Livia, and 3 hours from Sven. Okay, so at this point it's just simple math. So how much does Claire make per hour? 7.55. How many hours does she work? 4. So we have 3 people here, and we need to add them up. You know how to add people up. That's a sum formula. So that's where we're going to start. We're going to start with a sum formula. That's equals sum and then an open parentheses. Okay. And we have 3 things we want to sum, right? And our first thing is Claire's hours, then Ellen's hours, then Sven's hours. So Claire's hours are located in cell B3, and her dollar per hour is located in cell I3. All right. So B3 times I3 is the first thing we're going to sum. Then we're going to put a comma and figure out the next thing we're going to sum, which is Ellen's hours, which are in cell B4, and Ellen's dollars per hours, which is in cell I4. And then close parentheses on that, and put another comma. And then Sven, his hours are in cell B10, and we're going to multiply that by the amount of money he makes per hour, which is in cell I10. All right, we're going to close this. Now, you see these 3 things, right? So there's Claire, there's Ellen, there's Sven. And we need to make sure, some people forget this, you have to put 1 more parentheses on the end. So there's a double parentheses on the end here. All right, and let's hit enter. And there we go, per cell pops out a number. And what this number is the sum of the number in B3, Claire's hours, times the number in I3, Claire's dollars per hours, that's how much money she makes, added to the number of hours Ellen works times the amount of dollars per hour Ellen makes, plus the amount of hours Sven works times the amount of money Sven makes. No problem, right? And this is a good formula, and this will get it done for you. The problem is if we still handle this one over just like this, we're going to encounter some pretty quick problems. All right, and this has to do with Excel trying to predict and predicting wrong. All right. So there's a solution for that, but for right now, why don't you just work on writing correct formulas? And so I want you to do the same thing for the rest of these. So Ellen makes, on day 2, Ellen's number is in C4, and the amount she makes per hour is in cell I4. And who else is working on Tuesday? Looks like Livia is working, and she's in cell C8, and the amount of money she makes per hour is in cell I8. Oops, I8. And then Sven again is working 3 hours for us, and C10, and his dollar per hour is in I10. And again, make sure you have the extra parentheses on the edge. Alright, so you see how this is done, and you can go through and build the rest of these. Alright, I'm going to do one with the baker for you. Alright, and so we have the three bakers. Those are the people in white. It's the same formula. You start with equals sum, open parentheses, and then open parentheses again. The first person is George. George works 6 hours for us, and that's in cell B5. And he makes $8.75 an hour, and that's in cell I5. And we're going to close parentheses there. Put our comma in between it. Look for our next person. Hannah doesn't work on Mondays, and Nadia does. Nadia, her hours are in B9. And her dollars per hour is in I9. And we close parentheses again. And there we go. Alright. I'm going to do this once with mouse clicks so you can see it that way. This can be a little bit harder, but start out with typing equals sum, hit open parentheses again, click on a cell, type your multiplication symbol, and click on what you want to multiply. Close parentheses, comma, open parentheses, click the next cell that you want, put your multiplication sign, hit what you want to multiply, close parentheses, enter. Alright, and so you can do this same thing for Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and fill out these, which will be good practice. Alright, once you've got all those done, all those filled in, all you're going to do is you're going to highlight all of these cells. And this is very important that you only highlight the cells in the table here, or you're going to run into problems. Alright, so you want to make sure that it's going to be A11 through H13 is highlighted. And right up here to insert. And we're going to use a column graph. You can use a column or a bar graph. In Excel, bar graphs are sideways, column graphs are vertical. So I'm going to use a column. And we're just going to pick the second option right here, which is a stacked column graph. And what stacked column graph is going to do is going to take our two columns, in this case Till and Baker, and squish them on top of each other for the same series. In this case, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Now we have no data for Wednesday through Thursday all the way through Sunday, so we should expect two stacked columns and some blanks. And that's exactly what we get. So for Monday, we spent a little over $200, and it's about evenly split between bakers and till workers. On Tuesday, we spent a little bit more money, and it seems that till workers probably have the majority. In fact, they have 126.65, and bakers are only 90.5. All right, like I said, once you get this chart all the way built, you will have this graph all the way filled in. As always, please let me know if you have any questions. Thanks, and I hope this helps.